Get ready for this week's deep dive. We're going cosmic. Looking at your cosmic forecast for February 24th to March 2nd. I know you're all about self-improvement.
Yeah.
And I've noticed you've been checking out astrology lately. So even if you don't, base your whole life around your birth chart, it's always kind of fun to see what the stars might be hinting at for the week ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's always something to learn from
Love that.
these ancient systems of knowledge, even if we approach them with, a healthy dose of skepticism. It's like having a cosmic weather report. It doesn't dictate like what you'll do, but it can help you dress appropriately for the energy of the week.
I like that. A cosmic weather report. And to help us interpret this week's forecast, we have our expert here ready to break down these celestial movements into something a little more practical for you. So let's get started with the big events of the week. Our sources tell us that Monday, February 24th, starts us off with the moon in Capricorn. I've always found Capricorn energy to be super focused, almost like a laser beam. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Capricorn energy is all about discipline and ambition. It's not just about, dreaming big, but
Right.
also about like rolling up your sleeves and putting in the work to achieve those dreams. And because you're someone who's already driven
Yeah.
towards self-improvement, this lunar energy could really amplify that. It's like the universe is handing you a cosmic to-do list and a shot of espresso to get it all done.
Okay, so we're starting the week with some serious get things done energy, but then things shift on Thursday, February 27th, with a new moon in Pisces. I've always been a little fuzzy on new moons. Astrologically, what makes them so special?
So a new moon it's like a cosmic reset button. It's the beginning of a new lunar cycle, a time when the energy is fresh and potent. It's the perfect moment for setting intentions, planting seeds of what you want to grow in your life. And this particular new moon is in Pisces, a sign known for its intuition, creativity, and emotional depth.
Pisces, the dreamy artist of the zodiac. So does that mean it's time to break out the watercolors
Yeah.
and let the inspiration flow?
Exactly. This new moon could be a powerful time to connect with your inner world. Maybe you'll feel drawn to journaling, meditation, or any activity that helps you tap into your intuition and explore your emotions. It's a time to be gentle with yourself, to allow your imagination to wander and see what creative sparks emerge.
So we go from laser-focused Capricorn energy to dreamy Pisces vibes. That's quite a shift. But wait, there's more. Our cosmic weather report also mentions Venus going retrograde in Aries on Friday, March 1st. Now, I've heard the term Venus retrograde thrown around, and it always seems to cause a bit of a stir. Can you break down what it actually means and why it gets this reputation for being a bit chaotic?
So to understand Venus retrograde, we need to think about what Venus represents astrologically. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, values, and yes, even finances. When a planet goes retrograde, it appears to move backward from our perspective on Earth. Astronomically, it's an illusion, but astrologically, it signifies a period of introspection and reevaluation. So Venus retrograde isn't necessarily about bad things happening, but more about things from the past resurfacing. Think of it like hitting the rewind button on certain areas of your life, particularly relationships, finances, and those things you hold dear.
Interesting. So it's not necessarily doom and gloom, but more like a cosmic opportunity to reassess and maybe do a little spring cleaning in those areas of life.
Precisely. It's about slowing down, reflecting, and perhaps revisiting old decisions or patterns. And with this retrograde happening in Aries, a sign known for its impulsiveness and boldness, it adds another layer of complexity.
Okay, so we have focused Capricorn energy at the start of the week, dreamy Pisces energy midweek, and then this Venus retrograde in Aries, which sounds like it could bring up some interesting challenges and opportunities. How do these all come together to influence your week specifically?
Well, looking at the source material and considering your sun sign, the new moon in Pisces could really amplify your creativity this week.
That resonates with me. I've been feeling a creative urge lately, but haven't quite found an outlet for it. This could be the perfect cosmic nudge.
Absolutely. And while that creative energy is flowing, the source also mentions that with Venus retrograde in Aries, it might be wise to be a bit cautious with your spending. Aries energy, as we discussed, can be impulsive, and paired with Venus retrograde's tendency to make us reevaluate our values, you might find yourself tempted to splurge on things that don't truly align with your long-term goals.
That's a good point. I do have a habit of getting swept up in the moment, especially when it comes to things that spark my creative interest. It's almost like that Capricorn moon at the beginning of the week
Yeah.
is strategically placed to help us get grounded and organized before the potential for impulse purchases hits.
Exactly. That Capricorn energy could be incredibly helpful for setting a budget,
Yeah.
reviewing your finances, or even just creating a list of things you truly need versus things that are tempting you in the moment. It's like building a strong foundation to weather any potential financial storms that Venus retrograde might stir up.
Okay, so we've got focus and organization thanks to Capricorn, creative inspiration from Pisces, and a dash of financial caution because of Venus retrograde. This week is shaping up to be quite the astrological adventure. But how can you, as our listener, actually use this information to navigate your week and make the most of these cosmic vibes? What are your thoughts?
I think the key is to embrace these energies as allies, not mandates. It's about working with them, not against them. For instance, as we discussed, that Capricorn moon on Monday and Tuesday could be incredibly valuable for setting intentions and creating a clear plan for the week ahead. This could involve anything from outlining your work schedule to mapping out specific steps towards a personal goal.
Right, so instead of just letting the week happen to us, we can use that Capricorn energy to take charge and create some structure. I like that.
Exactly. And then as the new moon in Pisces rolls in, you can allow yourself to tap into that creative energy. This might involve setting aside time for brainstorming, journaling, painting, or whatever activity allows you to express yourself and connect with your intuition. The key here is to not overthink it. Just let the inspiration flow.
It sounds like this week is all about finding a balance. Balancing structure with creativity, action with introspection. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Absolutely. It's like a cosmic dance between these seemingly opposite forces. And the key is to find harmony within that dance, to embrace the grounded practicality of Capricorn, while also honoring the intuitive, dreamy energy of Pisces.
I love that analogy, a cosmic dance. So we've covered Capricorn, Pisces, and even touched on Venus retrograde. What other aspects of your astrological forecast for this week stand out to you? Well, considering we've talked about using that initial Capricorn energy for planning and organization, and then riding that wave of Pisces creativity midweek. It seems like the potential bumps in the road might come from Venus retrograde, right? Is there anything else in your chart that might be affected by this retrograde period?
Yeah, with Venus retrograde in Aries, it's not just about spending habits. This transit could also bring up past relationships or unresolved issues within current ones. Aries energy is all about action, and sometimes that action can come across as a bit aggressive or impulsive, so it's important to be mindful of how you're communicating, especially if old wounds are resurfacing.
So it's not just about resisting that urge to buy a new gadget. It's about being aware of how this retrograde might be impacting our relationships too. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially since Venus is all about connections and how we relate to others.
Exactly. And remember, retrograde periods are often about revisiting and reassessing. It's not necessarily about making drastic changes, but more about taking the time to understand what needs to be adjusted or healed. This could involve having honest conversations, setting boundaries, or simply giving yourself space to process any emotions that come up.
Okay, so with this Venus retrograde in Aries, we're looking at potentially revisiting financial decisions, being mindful of communication and relationships, and maybe even taking some time for self-reflection. That's quite a lot to consider. It seems like navigating this week gracefully requires a good dose of awareness and maybe even a little bit of patience.
Absolutely. Patience is key during any retrograde period. It's about trusting the process, knowing that this is a time for introspection, and that clarity will emerge in due time. It's not about forcing solutions, but rather allowing things to unfold naturally.
This has been incredibly insightful. I think we've covered a lot of ground and given our listener plenty to think about as they navigate their week. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up our cosmic deep dive?
Just remember that while astrology offers valuable insights, you always have free will. These cosmic influences are like signposts, guiding you along your path. But ultimately, you're the one behind the wheel. You get to choose how you respond to these energies and create your own experience.
I love that. It's a great reminder that we're not just passive passengers on this cosmic journey. We have the power to co-create our reality, even amidst the twists and turns of planetary movements. And on that empowering note, we'll wrap up this week's deep dives. We hope you enjoyed exploring the cosmic vibes with us, and we'll see you next time for more astrological adventures.